trying to figure out where to set this thing. Well, I know that I have a haggard appearance, guys, but I've just I've been to a lot here lately, and it's kind of one of those I don't even know where to start, really. You know, sorry I'm so shadowed, but I can't seem to figure out where to set this thing where the light would be in front of it. Decent. So, it's after 3 o'clock in the morning, and I don't know how long I'm going to be on here, but this is one of the few times when I actually get some time to myself, is when Chris has gone to bed for the night, and I was laying there on my side and trying to fall asleep, and next thing I know, he's hitting me on my back, and it was just a nerve reaction. It's not like he was pounding on me or doing it to the point of hurting me or anything, but it was an annoyance. And rather than say something to him, I just decided to get up. Let me try something. I don't know if it'll work, but I don't know how long this cord is. Let me see something here. If I do this right. Nope, it's better right there. So there we go. Hopefully, I'm going to have to hold the lamp in place because otherwise it's liable to fall over. It's teetering on the arm of the couch. So because this is one of the few times that I can actually have some time to myself and not have to leave home to do it, and not have to go down into a freezing basement to do a live stream down there, because as soon as Norma hears that I'm down there, she's going to be coming down there. And I might not want her to be a part of it. And I don't want to hurt her feelings or anything by saying, I'm sorry, sis, but, I need to do this alone. I came down here because I can't get any quiet and any time to myself long enough to do this a whole lot during the day, because when the busy, crazy, witchy stuff is going on like it is right now, come on, Kalika, but you just got to watch where you step. Here. There you go. That's the best I can do. Come on. Come on. Just be careful. Don't scratch mommy. That's the best I can do, baby. And, it could be a medicine that Krista's on. Could be any number of things, really. But it's causing him to have these nerve reactions in the night when he's trying to sleep. But as you all can see, I'm in my nightgown, and I'm just still trying to wrap my head around the fact that I just found out recently, because I can't remember if I've done a live stream on this or not, but here, let me try to put this down here now. Does that kind of work? No, not really. Because see, this cord isn't very long. And then when my cat's, trying to get up on my lap, I don't want to turn her down. Let's see if maybe I can try this. It's still okay, or am I too shadowed again? Now it's like one whole half of my face is shadowed. Yeah, lighting is not the greatest around here. But as I continue on my journey of learning about ADHD and accepting the fact and acknowledging the fact that I myself am ADHD, and now like one of the next steps is going to be getting evaluated by a doctor properly. And once I'm evaluated by a doctor, then I don't know if they're going to try to put me on some kind of med combination or not to try and help manage the ADHD, but I'm going to let them know right away. I do not want to start being put on a bunch of pills because I've not had the best success with such things in the past. I don't want to put myself through it again, and I don't want to put my body through it, and I don't need all the after effects that could come from it that could damage me or damage the function of my organs or something, And I've already got some kind of a heart condition. I still don't know what it is, but I'm just hoping that it's something that can be easily fixed and they don't have to, start talking about cutting me open to fix it or something. But I'm already on blood pressure meds. I'm trying to be more active. I'm trying to get up, move around more at the house here, trying to get back into doing my 5-task daily thing where every day I give myself 5 different tasks to do. And even if I get 1 or 2 of them done, I still acknowledge that and I reward myself for getting that much done. Because for somebody like me that's just now finding out that they're ADHD, I have been warned that there would be a roller coaster of emotions that I would be going through, and I already am going through those. Like some days I can handle it okay, other days not so much. And I'm still learning like other triggers that I have, certain things that if, somebody is trying to say to me, they have to be careful how they say it and what context they put it in, because it might trigger my ADHD, it might trigger something and get me upset, and that might not be their intention at all. And another thing that I'm going to get evaluated about is find out and make sure, and I hope I haven't, crossed the borderline of pre-diabetic to full-blown diabetic. Because if I have crossed the border and become full-blown diabetic, then I would rather know now so that I can start setting up, to get insulin or whatever. But I don't want to have to give myself shots every day. I would rather take my insulin-related stuff through pills, like Jim takes. Like I know Glipizides is one of them. And I don't remember. I'm pretty sure that's what Norma's taken as well. And, I've got to do something. I mean, because doing nothing is the same as saying that I'm okay with the way things are, and I'm really not. But at least on the plus side, some of what this book has been teaching me is why women are so much harder to diagnose. Kalika, I tried this once and you didn't want up here. You know, because see, now you're knocking things over, and this, as you can tell, is not doing very good. Because now my cat is in my face and wanting my attention. Kalika, I don't know what to tell you. Because I can't get this. The only way I have the light where I need it to be is right here on the very tip of the couch, and you've got to set it up there just so, or it won't stay. But at least on the plus side, I have been able to make sense of a lot of behaviors and stuff that I did not understand why I was doing those behaviors, what was going on. And, they say that denial is a common thing, just like when I was diagnosed with being bipolar. I still don't believe I'm bipolar, but ADHD, yeah, that I could see, because I saw so many behaviors and so many signs in the book that I have read thus far that is saying, if you do this and you feel this and you say this and you think this and you do these things, then yeah, you might as well say you're ADHD. And that's not a fun thing to accept. That's not a fun thing to acknowledge. But again, on the plus side, I would rather know, so that I can, that will encourage me to stay on the journey and on the path that I'm currently on, of not only still my self-mastery, but also self-discovery. And I believe that part of how you develop that self-mastery is through self-discovery, learning how you are the way you are, why you are the way you are. And if it's genetic and it's inherent that way, yeah, you're not going to be able to escape it. All you can hope for is to learn to manage it. I'm thinking about starting a ADHD support group at the library, using one of their big executive suites, so to speak. A room that you can put multiple people in, and find out how long I can have it. And, I figure 3 or 4 hours should be plenty. You don't want to do too many, because there's a lot of people that's going to be coming in and out, I'm sure, that's going to have really hectic schedules, and they might only be able to come on a certain day at a certain time. So I have to, one, figure out what the procedure is to get one of the rooms and get something like a group set up, to determine how many I want to attend, because it's going to be my first group. I would try to keep it as small as like 10, or less if possible. 5 or 6 even would be fine with me. Make sure it doesn't cost any money to rent the room out. Hopefully it won't, because if it's something that's going to cost money, I'm not going to be able to do it. And there was a incident that happened this month with our checks, and not this month, but last month's check. So the end of February's check, which we ended up getting our money on the 26th of February, which I was grateful. And excuse me. And then, yeah, sometimes I get random sneeze attacks. I'm trying to keep my voice down, so I hope I'm keeping it down enough. But there was an unforeseen that happened. Well, kind of unforeseen. I mean, I knew that that's what had happened, and I know why he wanted to do it, and I understand that. I get that. But he put me in a bad place and position and didn't give me enough notice soon enough. And I had already overspent, and then he tells me that I have to not only get all the cash items this time, but pay the water bill, which is normally his job, and normally the cash items we go half on. Like, he'll pay for a couple of items, I'll pay for a couple of items. That way one of us isn't paying for all of it. So he owes me $100 right there, because he said something about, $50 worth of stuff as far as the cash stuff. I didn't really pay attention to what the bill was or what the amount was when it was finally rung up in the end. But I wish I would have paid more attention. And the $43 for the water bill, the least he can do is give me a little bit of extra, because I stepped up this time so he could get his camera and his drone out of Hawk. And I can't help but wonder, how long is it going to be out of Hawk this time before he turns around and puts them both right back in there again, because he needs the money for something. And so I had to literally wipe out my savings yet again to keep bills and everything paid this time. And that really screwed me up, because now it's going to take me months to build that back up again, and that's not okay. It's not fair, and I mean, I know it's a one-time thing. I call it an unforeseen, because sometimes you're not sure if you have a certain amount that you can spend, and then you roll the dice, you take a chance. Do I spend? Do I not spend? Do I wait a little bit and see what happens? Make sure everything else is paid, blah, blah, blah. Which is the way it should be. And why is that doing that? That's weird. There's like this little flashing area over here. Okay, now it's stopped. Anyway, I understood the need for it, and I understood that, he wanted to get his stuff out. But if he's just going to turn around and put it in Hawk again, next time he needs money for cigarettes or whatever, then I'm going to be very upset, because it's like, either sell the fucking shit and be done with it, or stop turning around and putting it in Hawk and then getting it right back out and then putting it in Hawk again. And I'm just like so many, and am scraping to get by right now. All I've got to get me through the month, when all the money is gone, is whenever my mom might decide this week or that week that she's going to let me do a work day, and I'll get $20 for it. And in today's economy, $20 ain't shit anymore. But it's all I've got. And that's not fair. That's not okay. I even dragged some of my resin pieces out of the basement that I've been meaning to put on here, and, try to give the prices of everything. But that's something that I'm just going to have to work into my schedule sometime in the next day or so, because my mom is expecting me over there today to help her with some stuff. And I'm just not looking forward to that going horribly wrong, and that I could very well be too wiped out to ensure her that I am going to be there, and I will call her at 10 o'clock. And there goes the light, of course. And no, that wasn't a manifestation. Ow, that was simply me trying to, well, it's just, I guess I'm just going to have to be partially shadowed, guys, because I can't. I'm just too tired to fuck with this right now, but I'm trying to because I can't have any kind of consistency for my life and start building a daily routine for myself that I can follow to help with my ADHD and do it until it becomes second nature to me. And so I have to do things like this where I have to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning when I really just want to be in there sleep. And now, because I've had to sit up because of him, disturbing me before I could even fall asleep, I have to be realistic here and tell Mom, you know what, Mom, I know I said I was going to come over today, but I had some unforeseens happen and I just can't. I just don't have the energy now. I'm going to have to spend this whole day just recouping and continuing to get some stuff done around here. Because, I mean, yeah, the most that I will probably do is I might go out shopping or something, but it's going to be very little shopping because, you can't do a whole lot with $25. Not nowadays. And I'm just pretty upset that now, once again, I'm going to have to build my savings back up. And the quickest way that I'm going to be able to do that is to just put $200 aside every month. Do that for the next 2 months so that hopefully sometime in the month of June, I will finally catch Alicia at the right time and give her plenty of notice so that she can square it away with work and meet me at Ravenwood Castle. And all she has to do is show up and participate and can't even sit on my couch without fucking roaches crawling on me. Is that fucking annoying or what? And if it's not fucking roaches, it's fucking bed bugs and they're about to munch on my ass. I don't know. I doubt it. Let me see. No, that's not much better. But like I said, I guess part of my face is just going to have to be shadowed because I'm just so discouraged and downtrodden right now. And my brother pulling the typical stuff that he tends to pull that are the very things that piss me the fuck off to the point that I just want to stop talking to him altogether again because he is 61 years old and he acts like a 2-year-old throwing a temper tantrum because he's not getting his way when he expects something from one of us that we can't give him right at the very moment he wants it. And then he comes back with something in a text message like, well, I guess I picked the wrong day to want to talk to somebody. And I'm thinking to myself, Carl, quit acting your fucking IQ or your shoe size. I mean, you are a grown ass man. I know you're going through some stuff up there because you don't like the idea that you're up there by yourself. But I also understand why you had to move where you did, when you did, why you did, how you did, because you were so sure that Mom and Jim were just going to let you move in there. And then you got pissed off when their landlord, which has the absolute right to do so, kicked your ass out. And then you want to do petty shit like, well, I guess I picked the wrong day to want to talk to somebody. Oh, I'm sorry, Carl. Once again, you're expecting me to just drop everything I'm doing and cater to your every need and whim. Well, get that out of your head right now because that is not happening. I'm giving you my time when I don't always have it to give. I'm trying to be there for you, but you make it really, really hard sometimes because of the petty shit that you say and do. And it's just ridiculous. And it's like, how many go-arounds does this make it now? That him and I keep saying that we're going to change. We're going to do things differently this time. We're going to, we're going to hear each other out. And it's like, yeah, right. I don't see that happening. Oh, wait, did I finally find a good spot to put this? Well, that would be nice. I just gotta, this is the tricky part, is propping it up on your leg just right. And being able to still sit here comfortably because I do have the footrest up right now because I'm taking some me time the only way I can right now because I need to slow down and I need to trying to balance this thing out, but I just need to, even if it means taking a trip to the library to be able to finally pull it off, then that's what I'll do. Go to the library, go to the green room, and get some more of my ADHD book read because when I try to read it at home, there's always other stuff going on that that's just the lanyard that I got for my glasses because I'm tired of them. They keep sliding down on my nose and that annoys me. So I don't think I'm going to be able to go over there today, or at least maybe I'll be able to go over there later in the day, but Mom's expecting me over there at 10 o'clock in the morning or a little after. But I'm going to just call her when I do get up and say, look, Mom, I'm sorry, but this is what happened. And I'm not going to make it today. I need to take this day off. I need to get caught up on some reading so I can get some of these books finished so I can get them turned back into the library so they don't have to keep renewing them, which I'm probably down to probably as little as 5 more renewals before I'm going to have to take them back. So why not take today to, well, it's Sunday though, so the library might not even be open. I don't know. And if it's not going to be open, then I'll just focus on getting stuff here done at home that I keep procrastinating, putting off. And I know now that that's part of the ADHD. And, when you keep procrastinating and putting stuff off instead of just, biting the bullet, so to speak, and getting it done. But I've found myself in a situation that I don't see any way out of, at least not right now. And I don't know how receptive my daughter Zephyr is going to be about the trip that I'm just mentioned at Ravenwood, possibly in June, especially if I have in fact decided that I'm not even going to try to go to the trip in May, because as fun as it would be, I'm not going to have any money to contribute to, my part of the expenses. And I'm still not sure if Christy's mad at me or not. She had her people there with her recently, and she almost got evicted because of it again. And this is not like this has happened for the first time. This very thing has happened more than once. And every time it happened, she would get the same threat from our landlord or slumlord here, that if you don't have a lease and your name isn't on it, you have no right to stay here for any length of time. I mean, you might get away with a weekend, or a week at most, but then by then somebody's going to bitch and complain. And make it rough for everybody else. Because there was an incident that happened this past summer where Daryl had let some street people in to stay with him. Big mistake. Caused a lot of disruption in the building. And I believe Daryl was backed in a corner, so to speak, by John, the building manager, on Joe's behalf, or he may have heard it straight from Joe. I wouldn't be surprised. That either they go or you have to go. And it's like, oh, okay. And how exactly am I supposed to do that? It caused quite a stink here in the building, quite a disruption and disturbance. When he finally got them out of here, he put Christy through absolute hell and sleepless nights when she has to get up and go to a job and work a shift that right now is still very sporadic and chaotic. And some days she goes in the morning, other days she don't go in until in the afternoon, and then don't get home until after 11 at night. So Daryl, when he found out that her people were staying here, he bitched about it to Joe, and then Joe in turn bitched at Christy about it. And Christy's pretty pissed off right now, and she has every right to be. Because as much as I didn't want those people here either, it's not my choice. It's not up to me. It's up to her, because it's her family. And because they made some bad choices and poor decisions, and they're not thinking of their two kids in all of this. Yeah, they just want to keep getting their dope and their cigarettes every month, and then the hell with everything else. Well, that's not the way the world works. Come back to reality, because you're in some universe that don't exist, where you only have to pay for cigarettes and pot and you just expect to live somewhere for free. That is not the way of the world. Get your heads out of your asses and think about those kids and what you're putting them through, being fucking stupid right now, doing shit the way you're doing it. Not to mention, you're taking advantage of somebody that I call sister, that has lost a lot, just like I have. She's lost a lot of people. She's lost her mom. She's still got her stepdad, but her other dad's gone. And I honestly don't know if she even knew him, her bio dad. But her mother, in the end, was living in a rat infested, deplorable, despicable, inhumane circumstances. And Christy kept begging and pleading with her mom, Mom, just come stay with me. Come stay with me. And her mom wouldn't do it. She kept trying to get her mom to do stuff with her. Her mom wouldn't do it. She always favored Tish. And Christy is the only one that's really, truly shown that she actually gives a damn about her mother. She was a truck driver. And for any of you out there that are truck drivers yourself, especially if you got a good truck driving job, you know the kind of money that can be made. Well, Christy's mom was definitely a trucker. But I will never be able to make sense of in the least why Christy's mother would choose her sister over her. Because I'm sorry if you're seeing this, Christy, and I'm upsetting you and pissing you off. I'm not trying to. But I just don't think it's fair the way that your family keeps doing you. And I'm not saying anything against your mother. God rest her soul. But why do you keep letting Tish and her boyfriend do this to you and take advantage of you like this and let them come and stay here? And then it causes a big stink. And when you find out that it's Daryl that's trying to get you kicked out of here and everything, you're threatening to sue him for harassment. Good for you. Do it, girl. He deserves it. And get a restraining order against him. Good for you again. Kudos. Because if you get those two things done, he'll have to leave. And then guess what? There will be an open apartment down there. And what I would do is I would try to work out something. I know you know, watching me pick my nose is very attractive, but I can't help it. When stuff's in my nose, it bugs me. Especially when a lot of times you don't know if it's a fucking cockroach that's crawled up your nose or a fucking bed bug or whatever. I have to literally sleep with fucking earplugs in my ears every night. Because otherwise fucking bed bugs crawl in my ears, and I'm not having that shit happen. If it hasn't already, because I got a lot of fucked up issues with my left ear that I think a bug might have fucking crawled in there and got stuck, and the damn thing's dead. But because the body is decaying inside my ear, it could be causing some kind of infection that could kill me. And I've just been lucky that it hasn't yet. So the long and short of the whole Christy thing is simply this. Daryl had no right complaining, turning on Christy, turning her in, getting her in trouble, because he did know better when he let those street people in here and the crap that caused. And I know he has a hidden reason for why he went to Joe and why he told Joe, because he's a brown noser. He's got his head so far up Joe's ass that when Joe farts, Daryl's head pops out. Daryl was in the wrong for turning her in, because he did the same thing in the sense that these were street people as opposed to this was Christy's family. They've got 2 kids. It's still fucking cold as hell out there. They have nowhere to go. Yeah, were they stupid? Did they blow through their fucking inheritance money like idiots? Yeah, apparently they did. Or if they have any of it left, they're not using it the way it should be used, the way proper parents that truly love and care about their kids would use it for. Get you a place, keep your rent paid, keep your bills paid. If you have to get you a payee, get you a payee. So you're not, going through your money like there's no tomorrow. So I'm going to give it some time. It'd be about a week or so, or at least a few days before I try to approach Christy again right now, because I could feel how pissed off she is right now. And I just hope that none of that is directed towards me, because I'm afraid that there may have been times when her people were walking by our place in the hall and they heard us in here because these walls are thin, that we were talking about them, and that if Christy has to turn around and let them go to a shelter, then let them go to a shelter, because they don't deserve any less, because they're not being smart with that money like they should be. They're not being good parents. They're undeserving parents. And I am the last person on this earth that would side with children's services. But I think that maybe if they are taught a serious lesson in humility and they get their kids taken away, which I don't want to see that happen, and children's services puts them in the system, is that going to be the thing that's finally going to wake them the hell up and take their own heads out of their own asses, get their lives together, get their shit together, and be a good mom and dad to those kids? Because I know that Christy loves those kids with all her heart, and Ren does seem to be the happiest when she's around Aunt Christy. Christy has bought her things. Christy has taken her places, taken her to the mall, got her some real pretty clothes, done fun things with her, and probably Christy's done more with her than her mother ever will. So, shit, if I'm reading this clock right, because we haven't set the clocks ahead an hour in here yet in the front room, then it's going on fucking 5 o'clock. One way to find out. What did I just knock on the floor? It's 4:37. Yep. 4:37. What's on the fucking floor? Oh. It's just the plug for the 2-in-1. And I didn't want to see Christy get thrown out and lose everything that she's worked so hard for, because her sister wants to be a lazy fucking layabout and has a piece of shit for a boyfriend that don't even help her with the kids, that don't even try to be any kind of a dad to them or a father or anything. He just expects Tish to do it all, and that's not right either. But yeah, I'm hoping that we do get Daryl thrown out of here and I can work something out with John and Joe of renting that downstairs apartment. Don't rent it out to a person if they can be accepting of, I really need an office. I need a place to work on my hobbies and crafts. I'm trying to start me a business, and right now I don't have the capital to do that. This is one of very, very few ways. If you would be willing to rent me this place and let me use it as an office to do my hobby craft stuff, my paranormal stuff, my, shop design in a way, trying to figure out what I want my shop to have in it, how versatile I want to go or anything like that. But, I'm already paying $465 a month in rent for here. You're going to have to give me a good deal on that place, even if it's only $100 a month. And I don't know that realistically that Joe would even do that, because he don't want to lose that precious money, because he's one of the type of people that I don't think it's right for him to charge what he does for these apartments, because they're Section 8, and I think that our rent should be dropped down to at least $300 a month, or if nothing else, the $370 that I was originally paying when I first moved in here 18 years ago. I was paying $370 until Chris came along. Then the rent got raised to $375. And then I forget what kind of a span of time passed before one day Chris is telling me that, oh, by the way, our rent's going up to $465. And I'm like, Joe will not fix anything in this building. He won't hire anybody halfway decent to fix it either. He hires these cheap people, you might as well say people off the street that maybe have the skills that they claim they do. But Joe, in my opinion, makes the good Jews of the world look bad, because I know that Jewish people are good people. I know that they're very spiritual people and they're very generous people, but you got to work for your money. And I totally get that. And I totally agree with that 100%. You can't expect them to just hand it to you. But Joe, from what I've heard, his place that he lives in is so fucking gorgeous. If I was to see it even one time, I would be pissed, because it's like, why does he get to live that way and we get to live in a place that's falling apart around our ears because he refuses to fix anything? And that's his job. And especially if it's stuff that's becoming a health hazard to us, especially with Chris having his health issues and then me having mine on top of that. And it's just one hell of a shitstorm. And I'm just trying to survive it. But anyway, I'm fucking exhausted. I literally cannot keep my eyes open anymore. So I'm gonna end this live. Hopefully I'll be able to do another one soon. Bye.